The story of the seagull in North America does not begin with written records or human memory. It's a story that's etched into the very fabric of the continent's deep past, long before the first ships ever reached its shores. Fossil evidence tells us that birds remarkably similar to our modern gulls soared through the ancient skies. These early ancestors belonging to the family Larida have been a part of this land for millions of years. They witnessed the slow, monumental shifts of ice ages and the dramatic changes in coastlines and inland seas. They're not recent arrivals but primordial inhabitants, a living connection to a world we can only imagine through scientific discovery and the study of ancient bones. These prehistoric gulls were, much like their descendants, creatures of opportunity. They likely patrolled the shorelines of vast inland waterways that have long since vanished, searching for fish and other marine life. Their fossilized remains have been unearthed in places like Kansas, which was once submerged beneath a great body of water known as the Western Interior Seaway. This reveals a history far more complex than that of a simple coastal bird. Their presence speaks to an incredible long-term resilience and an ability to thrive amidst profound environmental transformation. The gulls we see today are the successful inheritors of this ancient legacy, carrying the genetic blueprint of survivors. As the continent evolved into its modern form, so too did the gulls. Different species developed, each wonderfully adapted to a particular ecological niche, from the rocky cliffs of the Pacific Northwest to the sandy barrier islands of the Atlantic coast. They became an integral part of the coastal ecosystem, their calls a constant, familiar sound against the rhythm of the waves. Their journey through time is a testament to the power of adaptation, a quiet but persistent narrative of survival written across millennia. They're not merely visitors to our shores, they're an ancient and fundamental part of America's natural heritage. Therefore, when we observe a gull today, we're seeing more than just a bird. We're witnessing the end product of an immense evolutionary journey. Their lineage has weathered countless storms, both literal and metaphorical, to persist into the modern era. This deep history provides a profound context for understanding their place in the world. They're not simply beach birds, but timeless survivors who have called this continent home for an astonishingly long time, their calls echoing through the ages from a past long before our own. Their story is a reminder of the enduring power of nature and the deep, ancient roots of the life that surrounds us. The modern American gull is a master of adaptation, a creature that's learned to thrive not only in natural environments but also alongside human civilization. While we often associate them with the coast, their presence extends far beyond the beach. You can find them circling over vast inland lakes, nesting near agricultural fields, and even congregating in busy urban centers hundreds of miles from the nearest ocean. This remarkable versatility is the key to their success. They possess a keen intelligence and an ability to learn and exploit new opportunities, which allows them to find food and shelter in a wide variety of landscapes, making them one of the most visible bird species across the country. A gull's diet is a perfect illustration of its opportunistic nature. They're definitely not picky eaters. In their natural habitats, they're skilled hunters, plucking fish from the water's surface, foraging for crabs and mollusks in the intertidal zone, and even preying on the eggs and chicks of other birds. However, in human-dominated areas, their menu expands dramatically. They've learned that car parks, rubbish dumps, and outdoor restaurants offer a reliable and abundant source of food. This willingness to eat almost anything from discarded sandwiches to agricultural waste has allowed their populations to flourish in places where other species might struggle to survive. Socially, gulls are complex and communicative animals. They live in large colonies, especially during the breeding season, where they engage in intricate social behaviors. These colonies, often located on remote islands or inaccessible cliffs, are noisy, bustling communities. Here they build simple nests on the ground and raise their young, fiercely defending their territory from predators and rival gulls. Their loud, varied calls are not random noise but a sophisticated language used to communicate warnings, signal the location of food, and maintain social bonds. Observing a gull colony offers a fascinating glimpse into a highly organized and dynamic animal society. Today, seeing a gull is an everyday experience for many Americans, regardless of their proximity to the sea. They soar over the Great Lakes with the same confidence as they do over the Atlantic. They follow tractors in the farmlands of the Midwest, hoping for insects and worms turned up by the plow. They gather in city parks, waiting for a handout from a sympathetic passerby. This incredible adaptability is what defines the modern gull. They've not only survived in a world reshaped by humans but have found ways to turn our presence to their advantage, securing their place as one of America's most widespread and successful avian residents. Throughout history, seagulls have held a powerful place in the human imagination, often seen as messengers bridging the worlds of land and sea. For sailors and coastal communities, the sight of a gull was a profound symbol of hope and safety. Far out on the open ocean, a gull circling a ship was a welcome sign that land was near, promising an end to a long and perilous journey. Their distinctive cries, carried on the wind, became the soundtrack of the shoreline, a familiar sound that meant home, safety, and the steadfast rhythm of coastal life. This connection has made them an enduring symbol of maritime culture and the enduring spirit of the sea. In literature and art, the gull often represents freedom and a longing for a different life. Its ability to soar effortlessly between the sky, the land, and the water evokes a sense of limitless possibility. Richard Bach's famous novella, Jonathan Livingston's Seagull, used the bird as a metaphor for self-perfection and the pursuit of a higher purpose beyond the mundane struggles of daily existence. This story captured the imagination of millions, cementing the gull's status as a symbol of individualism and the courage to break away from the flock. It represents the desire to transcend ordinary limits and explore one's true potential. However, the gull's symbolism is not always so positive. In many busy coastal towns and cities, they've earned a reputation as bold and sometimes aggressive scavengers. Here they can be seen as pests, noisy intruders that disrupt picnics and steal food directly from people's hands. This dual identity, as both a beautiful symbol of the wild coast and a common urban nuisance, highlights our complex and often contradictory relationship with the natural world. The same bird that inspires a poet on a desolate beach can frustrate a tourist on a crowded boardwalk, showing how our perception of an animal is shaped by our direct experiences with it. For some Native American tribes, particularly those of the Pacific Northwest, the gull holds significant spiritual meaning. It's often featured in stories and artwork as a clever and resourceful creature, sometimes a trickster figure, but also a guide and a symbol of resilience. Its presence in traditional tales speaks to a long and deep relationship, one of reverence and close observation. The gull was seen as an important part of the natural order, a fellow inhabitant of the land and sea whose behavior could provide wisdom and insight. This cultural significance adds another layer to the rich and varied identity of this remarkable bird. Beyond their cultural symbolism and their remarkable adaptability, seagulls play a crucial, though often overlooked, role in maintaining the health of our ecosystems. They're in essence nature's cleanup crew. By consuming dead fish, discarded organic waste, and other carrion, they help to prevent the spread of disease and recycle nutrients back into the environment. This sanitation service is particularly vital in coastal areas and around large bodies of water, where organic matter could otherwise accumulate and rot. Their tireless foraging helps to keep our shorelines and waterways cleaner and healthier for all life. Gulls also act as important biological indicators of environmental health. Scientists can study their populations, breeding success, and diet to gain valuable insights into the state of marine and aquatic ecosystems. A sudden decline in a gull colony, for instance, might signal problems such as overfishing, pollution, or a disruption in the local food web. The chemical composition of their eggs can even reveal the presence of toxins like mercury or pesticides in the environment. In this way, these birds serve as sentinels, providing us with early warnings about environmental threats that might otherwise go unnoticed until it is too late. Furthermore, their feeding habits contribute to the transfer of nutrients between different environments. When a gull catches a fish in the ocean and brings it inland to its nest, it's transporting marine nutrients to the terrestrial ecosystem. Over time, the droppings or guano from large gull colonies can enrich the soil, promoting plant growth in areas that might otherwise be barren. This natural fertilization process supports the entire food web, creating more robust habitats for plants, insects, and other animals. They're a living link connecting the immense productivity of the sea with the life of the land. In summary, the seagull is far more than just a common bird we see at the beach. It's an ancient survivor, a master of adaptation, a powerful cultural symbol, and a vital custodian of our environment. From cleaning our coastlines to signaling ecological distress, their contributions are both significant and diverse. They remind us that every creature, no matter how familiar or seemingly ordinary, has a purpose and a place within the intricate web of life. Appreciating the seagull means understanding the interconnectedness of our world and recognizing the profound value that these resilient and intelligent birds bring to both nature and humanity.